Guys, I'm gonna start a fucking continuing my Terraria run with Russel slow. He's not supposed to be a lizard man, he's a sword master. Now's our chance. So today's our chance to finish this run. Okay, so I gotta pause this shit. Okay, so seeing as now I can get eggs on the 9th floor, I'm going to go there. There's a good chance that I'll be able to get enough stuff that there's a good chance that I'll be able to get enough items to just completely finish this run. So I think I'm literally gonna run right to the 9th floor. Let's go.
Ashlyn Moffat got a 50-year prison sentence. She will be eligible for parole by the time she's 44.
Alright, so I know we're skipping around here, but I was going back to, you said that you were about a yard away from him as he's running.
That's all I really remember.
As he's running, getting help. He was on his knees at this point? Because you said you walked up next to him and did this.
Yeah.
How tall is he from you?
I was standing, and he's like about this tall.
Okay.
And then the like corner parking lot guard started screaming, and then he said, "Get the fuck away from me, bitch!" and like all of this like disgusting language.
Sure.
And then that's when I went to the bamboo room for help. And
now why didn't you stay on scene if you were trying to get help? Why leave in a Monte Carlo?
I just couldn't stay. I thought that I was going to be blamed for something because all those people, like, with all the witnesses at that time, just trying to, group their story and glue it together. I don't trust that.
But why not stay and give your account of what happened? You know what I mean?
Because I knew this would happen today.
Knew what?
Knew that if I showed it back on scene, somebody would call or I would go to the police station. I plan on getting my stuff, giving it to my dad, putting the car back and leaving, and then calling about this.
But was he out there during that time?
In the apartment complex next door. Yeah, I think he was.
He was? Okay.
He must have been. For him to have like seen me and been like, "Oh, this girl has to go to jail," and like call police. Yeah.
Oh, he said that during
his own fucking business.
Did he say that during the time?
Kind of, but like I don't recall. It's just a sentiment.
Were any of those knives that you had on you the one that you used to cut Blake? Which one?
The silver one.
Okay. How many knives do you keep on you?
2.
And there were a lot of knives in that house. Are they yours? Are they his? Is he a knife collector?
Yeah.
Samurai collector?
I'm telling you, he gave me the samurai.
Oh.
But, which is why it's in the trunk of the Monte Carlo. Because I wanted to practice with it. But
where'd you go after you left?
I parked the car down the street and I just went to sleep.
Now, at any point, did you think to come back and call police once you got there, or you just wanted to get your shit and get out?
I just wanted to get my shit and get out. Like, I'm not used to this sort of, like, processing and stuff. But if I need to be called on as a witness or something, I understand. But really, I think it's clear that Blake had tried to threaten me, and I had to take action to just get him done.
Okay. So when you say done, what do you mean by that?
Just
away, dead?
Away.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is that I wasn't being, like, ultra aggressive.
So by him bleeding, because you said you couldn't wait to see it done.
No, as in I could not stay around it, like, without, like, checking to see if this guy was not going to get up again. He got shot and got up.
Okay, and then he left outside, and you followed him, you were within a yard of him, and you cut him again.
No. I'm not going to agree to that kind of statement.
Just said that.
My brain had been, no, I did not.
You said
no,
that
I said that my mind was fuzzy.
And that concludes the first real pushback of the interrogation, which leads us to our next 2 subjects.
You mind if I keep the door closed? We actually have people walking by, and is that cool?
This is Katrina Ben, who, according to these investigators, was the most confident suspect they've ever dealt with. She began dating a popular car salesman called Eric Samoa in May of 2012, and although he was upfront with her about seeing another woman at the time, Katrina believed, or at least hoped, that she would be the one he'd eventually choose. But early one morning, shortly after they had slept together, she discovered Eric had called the other woman while she was there. What she was unaware of, and what you will see her find out in real time, was that Eric was calling the other woman to break up with her. Katrina then waited for him to go to sleep, then shot him in the head. Eric was discovered the next day during a welfare check, and Katrina, being the last person he was texting, was asked to come in for questioning. Police would later testify that she seemed genuinely distraught when she was informed of Eric's murder.
So you moved in the high-rise how long ago?
March 11th, I believe.
And, okay, and how'd you meet Eric?
I met Eric outside, like 2 weeks after I'd been there.
Oh, I'm an
I
idiot.
was, I think we get off work or get in about the same time. So I usually get off around 6. It takes me a while to get home. And we're walking in, and he asked me if I was a nurse.
She talks about her work as a nurse, and they make an instant connection, seeing each other almost daily for the next 3 weeks. She then gets to the day before Eric's murder, where they were spending the night at his apartment watching the basketball game, when at some point Eric starts calling his dealer to bring him some weed.
He asked them 2 or 3 times, where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? And then he just hung up. I don't know if they hung up on him. I don't know, but
What time do you think that's cool?
that was during the second quarters.
She says she goes to sleep